We take our arms down by our side. Just ground the energy into the soles of the feet. Feel the weight dropping down as you lift up internally from the lower belly up through the crown of the head. Remember, our bodies are made up of energetic lines of energy. And through our yoga practice, we learn to visualize and tap into these energy forces. So if you can imagine from the tip of the tailbone, a steady stream of light that travels up to the crown of the head as it travels down the center of each leg into the soles of the feet. Then we'll inhale and circle this light and reach up. And exhale, we flow forward, lengthen through the crown and release your head down. Inhale, lift your head and look forward. Exhale, step or hop back. Lower yourself down and inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's roll the shoulders away from the ears. Take a long inhalation. And a long exhalation. And then lift your head. You can either step or hop forward. Line up your feet. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold and drop the head down. Then lift your head and lift your arms. Draw your tail down and reach up. And exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Surya Namaskar B. We'll bend the knees. Inhale, lift the arms and reach up. Exhale, turn out your palms, hips up, head down. Then inhale, lift your head, look forward. Let's slow it down here. Just step your right leg back. Keep your right toes curled under. This is a deep lunge position. Try to lift your knee off the floor. If it's a little too intense, you just take your knee back down to the floor. And then we'll switch sides. We're going to step the right foot forward again, the left foot back. Keep the left toes curled under, press back through the left heel. We're stretching and opening through the front of the groin and the quadricep muscles. Then we're going to step the right foot back. We're from plank pose. We'll lower ourselves down with the elbows in, then come into upward facing dog, and back into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, roll your shoulders away from your ears, take a long breath in. Complete exhalation out. Lift your head, look forward. You can either step or hop forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold and drop the head down. Then bend your knees, squeeze your inner thighs together, and inhale, lift your arms and reach up. Exhale, lift up and release your arms down. Bend your knees, inhale, open your arms and reach up. Exhale, take your palms out, your hips up and your head down. Inhale, lift your head, look forward. Exhale, step or hop back. Lower yourself down, then inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right foot forward, either the left knee or heel down. Inhale, lift your arms and reach up. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down. This is called chaturanga. Then upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Step your left foot forward, either the right heel or knee down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down, step back and lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Spread your fingers, take a long inhalation, and then a long exhalation. Lift your head, look forward, step or hop. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, open your arms and reach up. Exhale, lift up. Relax your arms down. Practice another round of Surya Namaskar at home while we take a short break. Let's come down to our knees now. Just sit on your heels for a moment. So much of our lives are spent forward, rounding our backs forward, hunching forward, working at the computer, picking up babies, carrying them around, picking up boxes, groceries, whatever. Very little of our lives are spent bending backwards, and that's going to be our theme for the next little segment. We're going to do some preliminary exercises to stretch the back backwards, and then we'll finish with one beautiful posture called Ustrasana. So let's begin by lying down on our bellies. This is a good time to be on a softer surface. So if you've been practicing on a hard floor, if you have a rug nearby, then now's a nice time to move over to your rug. We'll just take the elbows directly below the shoulders, the wrists out in front of the elbows. Just reach out through the crown of your head. So you're not necessarily trying to look forward. You're actually looking forward to a point on the floor ahead of you. Reach out through the base of the skull. And then point your right leg and just lift your right leg up just a few inches. Still keep the right hip and right groin down on the floor. And then lower your leg back down. Then inhale, lift your left leg, point out through your left foot. Keep your hip and groin down on the floor, and then lower it back down. Let's take our arms now down by our side, the backs of the hands on the floor. We'll then inhale and just lift the right leg up a few inches. And exhale, lower the leg back down. See if you can roll your shoulders back just a little bit, pressing into the backs of the hands and lifting the head just a little bit off the floor. Then inhale and lift the left leg up just a few inches, and then rest it back down. Let's take the hands now beside the waist, the palms down. Reach out through the crown of the head, draw the shoulders away from the ears, and then inhale. Again, we'll lift the right leg up for one breath, inhale, and then exhale, we'll relax the leg down. And once more on the left side, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, relax the leg down. These postures that we're working on now contract and tighten and strengthen all the back muscles. So as you can see here, the back now is becoming slightly shorter in length. It's being a little bit contracted. When you shorten and contract muscles, you increase the strength in the muscle. All the forward bending postures that we do in our yoga practice, these types of postures release and stretch out the back muscles. It's important that this is balanced out with exercises that contract and strengthen the back muscles. You can either try alternate legs again, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, see if you can lift both legs up off the floor at once. This is a lot harder, so don't be discouraged if you can't do this. Just try one leg an inch or two at a time, and then release and lower back down. This is a wonderful time now to go into upward facing dog pose because you've warmed up the back and the shoulders, so we'll come all the way up into upward dog. The thighs are off the floor in upward dog. You're pressing into the tops of the feet. You're rolling the shoulders back and down. We'll go into downward dog. Really stretch out your lower back. Why don't you try bending your knees a little bit and lifting your heels off the floor. And then try alternating one heel down and one heel up, just to really release the lower back and the backs of the hamstrings. That's great. Then from here, we're going to step the right foot forward, bring it to the floor in front, and just bring your left knee down to the floor. Take your hands to your thigh, and take your left groin forward towards the floor in front of you. So you're stretching out the front of the left thigh and the groin. If you imagine that your lower back begins just below your buttock, and that's the part that you're pressing forward here. So instead of pressing your lower back forward, don't do that, but take the very top of the leg forward in this posture here. So we're releasing, getting maximum strength, stretch and strength through the front of the groin, and then we'll switch sides. So we're stepping the left foot forward now. This is a deep lunge posture. This is preparation for the back bending postures. It's important that the back bending postures are taken into the whole spine and not just the lower back. So if we stretch out the front of the groins like this, then we're protecting the lower back for the postures that follow. Then we'll release, step back, lower down, chaturanga, and come into upward facing dog, back into downward facing dog. Let's step the right foot forward again. Take the left knee down to the floor. We can practice this posture one more time, just like this, to go a little deeper. What this posture is leading to is the front back splits. So if Tamara wants to stretch her front leg out in front, she's being very careful here to keep her hips squared. So she keeps drawing her right hip back and her left groin forward and down. This is basically the same as this, and you can see that the shape and the angles of the body, the hip, the hamstrings, the legs, are very similar. One just goes a little bit deeper than the other one. So from here, we'll switch sides. You're stepping your right leg back, stepping your left foot forward. You bring your knee down. You can either stay right here, or you can experiment with going a little deeper. You don't have to go all the way down. You may just come to this position. And then eventually over time, you'll be able to come all the way down. Cheryl's going to try it. She's going to see how far she can go without hurting herself. Wow, that's great. Amazing. Cheryl's been practicing yoga for about 5 years now, and she sure didn't start out this flexible, did you? No. She's been working hard at it. And then from here, we're going to press down, lift up, and go back into chaturanga. We're going to lower ourselves down, and then come into upward dog, deep bend, and then downward facing dog. Pause and downward dog, just to release your lower back completely. Try that alternating heel and hip action again. So we've been working pretty deeply in the lower back and hips, so make sure that you're feeling completely relaxed and released before we go on. And then we're going to bring our knees down to the floor. Sit back on the heels and roll the shoulders back. Good. Pause, center yourself, connect again with the lower belly. Draw the shoulders back and down, and focus and find your breath. And then we'll lift the hips up off the heels. We'll come standing on our knees. So we're going to begin with the first version. Let's look at each one slowly, and you'll see the progression of these postures, and then you'll decide at home which one you're going to work with for now. So remember what I was saying before. If you imagine your lower back beginning at the very top of the legs here. So Cheryl's going to press that part of her hip forward like this, and she's just going to lean back a little bit just like this. So that's the first version of this posture. Then Glenn is going to do the same thing. He's going to take it one step further. He's going to have a little stool. You can have a stool, or he's going to use blocks that are right beside his feet. He's going to create the same action. He's going to bring the upper legs forward, the tail under, the tailbone being drawn under, and then he's going to reach back, place his hands on the blocks just like this. He's going to roll his shoulders back and lift up through the chest. Mishi is going to take it one step further. The knees should be hip-width apart. She's taking her lower back forward from under the buttocks. And she's rolling her shoulders back. She's dropping her head back, lifting up through the chest. This posture might have to be practiced at the beginning with the chin up like this. So you can try this at home. If it's comfortable, then you take the head all the way back like this. Next step. This might take 10 years to get to, but whatever. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful posture, and you can see where it's all leading. Same thing, we start off the same. We are back at the beginning here, and then Tamara's going to take it one step further. She's going to bend all the way back and bring the crown of the head down to the floor. All these postures do the same thing. They open the front of the chest, roll the shoulders back, And if you're getting older and you feel like your upper back is starting to round forward, well, this is the posture to work on. All the back bending postures bring that curve into reverse and reverse that process in your body. Let's all come up. Sit back on your heels and rest in child's pose. Bring your forehead down to the floor. Completely release your forehead into the floor. Internally draw your sitting bones and your hips back into the floor. Bring your breath back to normal. Those back bending postures are extremely invigorating. They should be practiced with care if you have any kind of heart condition. Very high blood pressure would be one situation where you would definitely be doing the beginner version of that. It brings a lot of blood into the heart, and the heart has to be strong enough to be able to pump that blood through safely and efficiently. We'll stay resting in child's pose just like this. We'll be back after a short break. If you're still in your child's pose, then you can lift your head up and swing your feet around to the side and stretch your legs straight out in front. After doing all those back bending postures, it's really important now that we take time to do the opposite. So our yoga practice will balance out the front body, the back body, flexibility and strength. And it's important that when you practice on your own, you keep all these things in mind so that your balance is achieved throughout the whole length of the practice. So Cheryl's going to sit on a little lift here. This is really helpful if you have tight hamstrings and you find that forward bending is painful or uncomfortable. You roll your shoulders back and sit on the front edge of your lift. So inch your way forward just a little bit more and pull your sitting bones back. That's it. That's much better. Cheryl's also going to use a strap to come forward with. So this way she's going to come forward with a totally straight spine. She's not going to round her shoulders at all. And everyone else can come forward, either holding on to your shins, your ankles, your toes, or you can wrap all the way around your feet. You want a long spine, reaching out through the crown, reaching towards the toes, no scrunching at the back of the neck. That's it, Cheryl. That's perfect, right like that. You want a long, straight spine from the crown, reaching to the toes, the sitting bones reaching back into the earth. If Tamara presses up into my hand just a little bit with the back of her head, so if you press up into my hand, Tamara, then lift up your chest, pick it, take it forward, then reach a little more forward there. She's grown even another inch. Keep your shoulders rolling back, your spine long, your breath steady. You might have to spend a few extra breaths in this posture right now just because we spent a lot of time stretching in the opposite direction earlier. So another long, deep inhalation, then a long, deep exhalation. And then we'll inhale and lift the head and come sitting up. Let's swing our feet around. Lie down on our backs. Pull our knees into our chest. Rock on your lower back just a little bit. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet down to the floor. So Cheryl here is going to demonstrate the beginner version of a shoulder stand. It's called bridge pose. She's going to take her hands underneath, interlace, lift her shoulders up. Tamara and Mishi are just going to lift right up and swing their feet back behind their heads. First going into plow pose, interlacing the fingers, getting the shoulders rolled under, then taking the hands to the mid-back and lifting the legs straight up, just like this. Glenn is going to lift his legs, swing them back behind his head, and stay in plow pose just like this with his fingers interlaced, his shoulders rolling under. He's trying to squeeze a little bit between the shoulder blades. to take the shoulder blades into the body, back into the front of the body. He's also going to be careful to release his chin a little bit. There should be a little space under his neck here. So if you find, if you're trying this posture at home and you feel too much pressure at the back of your neck or in your throat, you're not quite ready to do it, you should back up to the previous posture, the one that Cheryl's performing right over here. It should be easy to breathe in these postures. You may need to back up to this one here when this one gets really easy, and then you go further. Remember, there's no rush. There's no finish line. It's not a competition. We're here to relax and enjoy this time that we take to spend with ourselves. We're going to slowly come out of these postures. If you're in shoulder stand, you take your feet back behind your head like this. You take your arms down by your side, and you use your arms and your abdominals to lower yourself down slowly with control. You take your legs out straight. You roll your shoulders under, your palms face upwards. Close your eyes. And you lie back. You take the next few minutes to feel the effects of your practice.